Metal Master Kingdom here with
Thomas Youngblood from Kamelot.
Alright, in Toronto at the Phoenix Concert Theatre. This is, I believe, the 7th night of your North America tour for the new album Haven. So how's the tour going in general?
It's going great. I mean, fans have been amazing. The two bands are getting along very good, so it's been a perfect start for the tour. Other than the Baltimore situation, we had some riots kind of screw that show up, but other than that, it's been super.
That's great. How has it been partying and sharing the stage with Dragon Force?
It's been great. I mean, they're a lot of fun, and every night they put on a great show, and then we come on and do our thing. It's a great package for the fans.
All right. I know it's just the 7th night, but which city has been your favorite so far?
Ooh, it's hard to say. Worcester was pretty awesome, and Montreal last night was also pretty amazing. Yeah, I mean, I think if I had to pick one, I'd probably say Montreal so far.
All right. Your 11th album, Haven, comes out tomorrow. Could you tell me a bit about it? Is it a concept album at all, like Silverthorn and Epica?
No, it's actually it's not a concept, but there's a theme to the record. We were really kicking on these post-apocalyptic type movies, and also talking about technology and how it's sort of affecting our world today. And I think there's a generation of ADD being created from the obsession with mobile phones. So little things like that we started talking about, and I think that it started to influence the direction for Haven. So it's not a concept record, but there is a thread somewhere through there.
Ah, very interesting. What are some of your favorite tracks?
You know what? Every week it's something different. Right now, I think probably Beautiful Apocalypse is one of my favorites. Insomnia, we're playing that song every night, so of course it's fun to play, and it's become one of my favorites. It's hard to say. Every song really has the potential to be a fan favorite, and which is something that we've felt from doing interviews, where someone will pick out every song as their favorite over doing 50 interviews. So that's really a cool thing, and I think that says a lot about the way that the record was written to be diverse and to have a lot of no filler kind of thing going on.
Nice. All right, and speaking of that, I know that you don't design the album art, but still, could you tell me the significance in any way of the young woman's face with the silhouette falling off?
Well, for me, the way that I look at the cover is this being born and living your life, and then death. These three different elements, that are also kind of key within the cover. But we would like fans to look at these things and to find different things about it. There's also some hidden lyrical references on the cover that, if you look closely, you can see. The artwork was done by Stefan Heilemann, who also did the Silverthorn album. He's an amazing, crazy guy who does some pretty awesome stuff. And for me, this is my favorite Kamelot cover so far.
Oh, sweet. You've come to Toronto quite a few times now. I know with Delane and Eclipse a couple of years ago, and about a year before that with Nightwish. Have you had a chance to see the city at all, or eat at any good restaurants?
No, I haven't had the chance to go to any restaurants, but I definitely have gone to the city several times and done the tourist things. I had a good friend also that lived in Florida that moved to Toronto, and so I've come up here sometimes when it wasn't related to Kamelot, and done some different things here. So it's a great city.
All right, thanks. Thanks. You've played on a number of large festivals like Grass Pop, Bang Your Head, and even the 70,000 Tons Cruise. Which is your favorite festival, and why?
My favorite is Sweden Rock Festival. The organization's amazing. It's got a really good, diverse package of different bands, from super heavy to melodic rock bands. Now we're going to be doing Loud Park Festival this year for the first time in Tokyo. So let's see, maybe that'll be my first choice after October, but so far it's definitely Sweden Rock.
Oh, very cool. All right, it's been 3 years since Roy E. Kahn left because of his health issues. Want to know, do you still keep in touch, and how's he doing?
We don't really keep in touch. As far as I know, he's doing well though.
Do you keep in touch with any of the other former members?
Yeah, Mark Vanderbilt lives near where I live now, so in Glen also. Yeah, those guys, you know, they live close by, so it's a little bit different.
All right. Kamelot has a rapidly growing fan base. I mean, for the Silverthorn album, you got to tour some new places like Taiwan and Korea. So, do touring plans for Haven include any new countries or any new festivals for you?
Yeah, definitely. We're doing a bunch of new festivals this summer in Eastern Europe. Like I mentioned earlier, we're going to be doing Loud Park in Japan, which we've never done. Then we're probably going to go back to Australia, which will be only our second time. We're playing new cities in Europe. So markets like Switzerland, Austria are kind of growing. Yes.
Oh, pretty sweet. And speaking of touring and festivals, what are some of your favorite songs to play live?
Definitely March of Mephisto. Veil of Elysium is a new song that we play live now that is one of my favorites. Karma. Yeah, I mean those stand out in my head.
All right, what do you do outside of Kamelot? Do you have any side projects next to other hobbies?
I have 2 kids, which keeps me super busy, and a family, so when I'm not doing Kamelot 24 hours a day, then I'm spending time and being a soccer coach or whatever, and so that's kind of my alter ego. I get to have both those worlds, and to me it's like a great combination of being able to do that.
So you're able to balance family life with this lifestyle?
Yeah, it's a little crazy, but you know, when we tour, it's usually about 4 weeks at a time, so that's a nice. It's a good amount of time, but it's still not like crazy. Like if we're in the army or some of these bands that tour, you know, 6, 8, 7 months in a row. So for us, you know, that balance is actually really crucial, and it's one of the reasons we've been able to do this for several years, because we don't want to get burnt out, and we want to make sure that our family is happy, and so that time away is important, I think, too, for our energy and refresh our batteries and things.
That's great. Hey, I wasn't aware you had 2 kids, and so I know you have your daughter, or who did some nursery rhymes names on one of the albums.
Yeah.
Have featured.
Yeah, I have a 5-year-old son who at some point will probably be on the Kamelot record. So we'll see. Maybe the next one. Also, Oliver has a son now, so maybe we've talked about my son and Oliver's son starting a band, and it will probably be called Kamelotica, because his wife is Simone Simmons from Epica. So that's our retirement plan, actually.
What were your musical influences growing up, and what inspired you to become a musician?
My cousin is a guitar player. He's a session player out of Nashville, and I used to watch him as a little kid doing gigs, and then he got to where he was the touring guitar player for like Johnny Cash and guys like that. And so he was probably like subconsciously my first influence when it came to music, and then I started getting into you know, metal bands like Iron Maiden, Malmsteen, stuff like that, Michael Schenker, and yeah, from that point on, I was hooked.
All right, 8. And speaking of which, what advice would you give to a young band starting out today?
I would say definitely you should go and get a proper musical education. And if you want to do this, expect to work really, really hard. If you want to be successful, it takes a lot of work. And make sure that you love it. I mean, we love what we do, and so we're touring, and it's a lot to do. There's a lot of things to do around it. So just make sure you love it. What you do.
All right, I won't take up any more of your time. Is there anything you want to say to the fans watching?
Thanks for your support. Go out and get Haven. We're going to be touring basically all over the world for the next 2 years. So make sure you go to Kamelot.com, look for tour dates, and we hopefully see you guys at shows.